Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Zephyr Geek and
Lab Wrangle
presentation of Minecraft Musings. We were talking about Divinity Original Sin and on the previous episode, and we're still trying to finish our frickin' town hall. It'll never be finished.
It's a ambitious undertaking.
Yes, we're already in the upper 20s of our Minecraft videos, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be another reactor room, isn't it?
This is gonna be another reactor room, yeah. But we do the town hall and we do the building of the thing, of the houses. And we... oh crap, I forgot to disable my F-Lux. This is gonna turn sour very shortly.
That's where everything goes red.
That's where everything goes red, and because it's Java, it will show up. I actually notice it now because I do play a lot of... like, a lot of the time that I spend in front of my computer during the week is during the time when F-Lux switches everything, turns everything red. So I do notice the gradual change. But I think we should be safe for another 15 minutes or so.
Cool.
If not, you're going to experience a very, very red Minecraft.
Yes. Well, what else? I recently saw a movie. Straight to DVD. Not a bad movie, quite fun actually. Called Knights of Badassdom.
Knights of... I've heard of that. That's the Peter... the tiny man...
Yes, Peter Dinklage, he's in it.
Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage and like the Succubus D&D fair thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh man, I want to watch that.
Now, it's definitely very fun to watch. You know, don't expect too much in terms of the special effects. It is straight to DVD, but I'm very impressed with what they managed to do, considering what they had. But you know, it brings up an interesting point. LARPing. What do you think about LARPing? For those that don't know, LARPing is live action role playing.
The thing is, I've never had it. I've never done it. So I can't really have an opinion about it. It looks interesting. It really does. And if I ever get the opportunity, I might do it. If not, I'll probably do the virtual reality thing and just experience it through that.
I don't know. Maybe. You know, it's a case of I don't know unless you try. But it seems... I don't know, it seems a bit of a departure from your traditional role-playing to have it all live action. But one thing's for certain, it's not a cheap hobby.
Oh no, definitely not. LARPing.
Those costumes cost quite a bit.
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie called The Dorkness Rising?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, it's literally... it looks like a fan-funded film. In other words, they don't have a lot of money. And they made a previous movie to that. Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name. But essentially, it's the story of a DM and his party. Right?
Okay.
But every time they sit down to play Dungeons and Dragons, they get teleported. They do the LARPing thing. The story is actually told as if you're experiencing it through playing D&D. Right? So
okay.
It's crappy graphics, photoshopped, special effects. It's really... it's made on less than a shoestring budget. A spaghetti budget, if you will. And it's amazing. You should really get your hands on it. I actually watched it back in South Africa. And after watching that, I actually got back into D&D again.
Cool.
Yeah. The one guy plays a bard, and at that point of D&D's release, it's literally a case of bards die. That's all they're good for. So what this guy does is he goes to his normal store in real life, gets one of the lackeys that works there to fill out like hundreds upon hundreds of character sheets for a bard, where he'll only change the name, right? And at some point they like face off against this demon, and they realize this guy's really powerful, and they need to defend themselves somehow. And the bard character's like, I got this, and he slumps down like a pack of papers in front of him. I run in front of the bullet, and he starts dying, and his bodies, the amount of characters they lost, eventually became the hills that they hid behind during the battle.
That's cool.
You know,
That
kind
is
of like,
cool.
it's really cool. And the beautiful woman in the show is the actual wife of the DM in the show. And you look at her and go, oh shit, lucky man. Yeah. Somehow all the skinny, really geeky looking geeks end up with the really, really, really supermodel-esque type woman. But maybe that's because the really geeky geeks are the ones that make the money?
Probably.
So we don't know. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. If you look really geeky, then kudos to you, man. And if you don't have a supermodel of a wife, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, get out there.
Not judging you, but you might be doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Next thing I want to discuss, but I want to use this episode as a spoiler alert, and we'll discuss it next episode. So, all those watching, you've had 3 weeks to catch up. Game of Thrones has been out and over for 3 weeks now. You don't have any excuses left.
We'll
Next
talk about
episode?
it the next episode. Yes.
Yes. So be warned. Spoilers.
In fact, you are warned 2 days in advance, actually, because the next episode
Yes.
will be coming out in 2 days. Let's go to bed.
Yes. So, but you don't have an excuse to have not seen it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you don't watch Game of Thrones.
But let me tell you one thing, though, that I did see is Genisys, Terminator Genisys. Wow. Wow.
Good.
Wow. Man, it felt like... I would say it's roughly on the same level as Terminator 2.
Nice.
It's really... I walked out of there going, wow. I walked out of Genisys having the exact same feeling I had when I finished Terminator 2.
Sweet.
I was like,
that's cool.
wow, this is kind of fucking cool. It's not... Well, then again, there's no big story in Terminator 2, really. But it's not... What I can tell you, Daenerys, or Emilia Clarke, if you will, she, especially in the close-up scenes of her, right? You can literally see, it's like, oh, you can see the reason why they chose her as Sarah Connor. She looks a lot like the original Sarah Connor.
I can see that. I can see that.
The biggish eyes, they made her out to look like a bit of more muscly, I believe.
Yeah.
Pas op, there's a creeper. There we go. Not a bit more muscly, but they made her look... She looked as if she knew how to handle herself in a fight. So not necessarily more muscly, but the first time you saw it, it's like... Then about 10 minutes after that, it's like, yeah, she can handle herself in a fight.
You know the Linda Hamilton character from Terminator 1, Terminator 2? There was a serious evolution from who she was in Terminator 1. Is like just this woman trying to just, get along, not really understanding anything of what's going on, to like a super badass in Terminator 2. And that was a really cool evolution they managed with the same character. Normally it's not the same character that they do that with. Sometimes they sort of swap it out. But I was really impressed with the change that she had.
Yeah, what they also did in the thing is they gave her a reason, actually, they gave the reason why she's badass in the other movies.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 and all that. Basically, they told you the reason why that happened. Because in this one, I don't want to talk about it. It's very spoiler heavy. Essentially, there's a really good reason. You're like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is actually awesome. They do play around with the time thing a lot. They let me tell you this. It's no spoiler, so people can still listen. It's not a spoiler. They ended off as if everybody's stuck in a time loop. Yeah.
Okay.
They ended it off, but it was the best possible time loop for everybody involved. Involved.
I see.
So it's like literally they covered their bases with the time loop thing, like with time repeating and blah blah blah.
I see.
It's as if everything in the movie, at the end of the movie, you realize that maybe everything in the movie already happened like a couple of times already. That's how well they ended that movie.
Oh, okay. Because if you take a look, right, the first Terminator basically made Terminator possible. Because if you take a look at, the Terminator goes back in time to kill Sarah Connor, fails, parts are found by Skynet and Miles Dyson, who then invent Skynet, and the Terminator comes back. At some point or another, the time loop starts always at the wrong point. There's no first go round,
Yeah. No, this one was really expertly handled. It's well worth a watch. You're obviously more into the lore than I am. I just realized that. But I believe, like, I'm not, when it comes to movies and continuities, the continuum was, anyway, when it comes to movies like that and storylines and everything, I'm like, I don't really care, If I watch a movie, I want to see it end and be happy about it. Right?
Yeah.
And like the other Terminators that I saw was like, okay, cool. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. This one was the first one. It's like, holy crap, this is really cool. And wow. They can't really reboot it after this one.
Yeah, I would imagine that eventually there's a time where you say, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I thought that was it from Terminator 3, Rise of the Machine, which brings me to another interesting topic. We'll get into that in a minute. I thought that was the end, but it felt unfinished. And so I'll see what the... there's the whole Sarah Connor Chronicles and all of that. I haven't seen it.
I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes of it. And...
I don't know if it's a requirement to watch that in order to be caught up on all the story.
Dude, let me tell you this.
I'll do my research.
Let me tell you this. Have you watched Terminator 1 and 2?
Yes.
Then you can watch Genisys. Yes. That's how well it's actually been done. It's like... I've seen Terminator 2 like 7 million years ago. That is, if you're watching 7 million years into the future. If you're watching the 7 million years into the future. I've seen it a punt long, very long ago. And what I remember of 2, they basically covered most aspects. I'm trying to be as little spoilerish as possible.
As little as possible.
Yeah. So as far as I know, and if any of you out there agrees or disagrees with me, Slabrangle, you've got about 3 weeks to watch Genisys.
Yeah. Another...
We've got about 50 seconds left, so...
You heard about the robot in Germany at
the machines are
factory.
rising.
The rise of the machines, yes. But you know, I have some opinions on that. Might turn out to be rather creepy, more than you anticipated. But I'll save that for the following
For
episode.
the next episode. Yeah, guys. So,
Yes.
who does this go out to?
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Esmeralda Weatherwax from Terry Pratchett. There we go. And
Sure, yes, her.
And all the Esmeraldas out there. You, until next time, you should have a good one.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.